Two, the National Assembly. The National Assembly budget details is not contained in this document. Three, INEC. The INEC budget details is not contained in this document. Four, the Universal Basic Education. The Universal Basic Education budget details is not contained in this document.
My people, AKPABIO has finally been exposed. AKPABIO has finally been exposed. All the criminality and the shenanigans that is going on in the Senate House has actually been reviewed by Senator OLAMILEKAN. Everything that actually went down before Senator Ningi was actually suspended from the Senate House has actually been exposed in this video. My people, stick to this video to see every single thing that actually took place in the Senate House before Senator Ningi was actually suspended. The criminality that we are fighting in this country is sitting down in the Senate House and is actually getting away with it. My people, share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be back in the jiffy.
Welcome to YAKUBU TV show.
The home of crime scene.
It's happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happenings in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome you to YAKUBU TV show, where we bring you political, celebrity, and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do well to click the red subscription button and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video. My people, with the criminality and shenanigans that is actually going on in Nigeria, we don't know, maybe there's anybody somewhere else that will come and solve all this problem for us, or that will come and solve this corruption that has engulfed the whole country, starting from the president to the Senate House. Not some days ago, Senator Ningi was actually proving a point in the Senate House way before he was actually suspended, and the more reason why he was actually suspended was because he actually made that point in BBC Hausa before coming to the house to make mention of it, believing that everybody in the house has actually noticed what he actually found out in the 2024 budget. And now you will see in this video that Senator OLAMILEKAN condemns the act of Senate House. Every decision that he made before Senator Ningi was actually suspended, he condemns everything, because Senator Ningi actually asked every one of them in that house. You will see everything in the video. If you have forgotten everything that actually went down in the video, Senator Ningi asked every single person in the house that have they gone through the budget for 2024, and they actually said yes. And he said if you guys have actually went through it, you would have seen the anomaly that he actually detected in it. And everybody started castigating him, they criticized him, they actually insulted him in the house, and even to the fact that one of the senators were actually telling AKPABIO to calm down, not knowing that this AKPABIO is even the orchestrator of all the shenanigans and the corruption that is actually going down in that house. You will see Senator Ningi was actually heads down, suspended from that house, humiliated and embarrassed in the front of everybody. Though Nigerians, what I actually love so much about the whole issue was that Nigeria actually stood by Senator Ningi, because they believe that he has actually detected something in that budget. That is the reason why he actually came out and he actually blasted everybody. With the present situation that Nigeria is now, and you are still paddling, and they know that, and Nigeria solely believe that this paddling of 18 is another means with which these people want to loot Nigerian fund, the way they want to loot another means for them to loot the public fund. Now, after paddling this budget, you padded the budget over 3-point-something trillion. Whose account, whose pocket is that 3.7 or 3-point-something million is going to? Whose account is it going to? And you see the whole problem that Nigeria is faced with now, the whole economic breakdown and the kidnapping and all the atrocities that is actually going down in the country. The insecurity is making the citizens of the country to be scared, and you see that everything that actually went down, Senator OLAMILEKAN made mention of every budget that was actually missing, all the list that was actually missing in the budget. Senator OLAMILEKAN, that is actually representing Ogun West, actually make mention of everything and pointed everything out in this video. He condemns the act, and everybody in the Senate House was actually looking at him. They couldn't say anything, their head was down, and they actually suspended this man. They wanted to suspend Senator Ningi for 12 months. They actually brought out to 6 months before they concluded on 3 months. Now all of them have actually seen that this man that they were actually castigating was actually saying the truth. And these are the set of people that that Nigerians are paying, that Nigeria is actually paying 15 million. None of them actually went through that budget to actually see the anomaly in the budget. The only person that actually saw the anomaly in the budget spoke out, and after speaking, they actually suspended him, because I believe so much that some of the senators are in that house that actually know about this anomaly. What they actually have interest in is how to loot that money. 3-point-something million is not a baby money. It's not any small small money that you can actually send and take into your pocket. Nigeria is actually suffering economically. Everything is actually going down in Nigeria, and we see how some set of people that call themselves the senator that are representing some districts in Nigeria and still want to go away with a huge amount of money. You will see as Senator OLAMILEKAN actually condemns everybody, and after even Senator Ningi made mention of all these things, and all of them said that they didn't notice anything, some of them still went to the press and confronted the press and tell them everything that actually went down, that Senator AKPABIO is actually for the people, that is actually doing everything, that everything will be all right. And now coming back to everything that's actually happened, they've noticed that even Senator AKPABIO, the Senate president, is even more of a thief. Senator AKPABIO must actually go, because all this criminality that is going down there, if any more criminality should go down in that Senate house, a whole lot of havoc is going to happen to Nigeria. And you see with the presence of insecurity that's actually happening in the country, they are not even addressing the issue. Is this issue of money that all of them are actually talking about? Senator AKPABIO is a bad egg to Nigerian politics. Is a bad egg to President Bola Ahmed TINUBU administration. This man must go. Everything that is actually doing has been exposed. He must go. And at the time Senator OLAMILEKAN was saying all this, he was looking so embarrassed because he felt that he has actually been exposed. 3.7 trillion naira. Whose account is that money going to? My people, see the video and see where Senator OLAMILEKAN slams everybody in the Senate house. He actually said his mind. Even though some people were trying to stop him, but he never stopped. He made sure he made his point. My people, stay close, watch this video, and after the video we will wrap up.
One of the distinguished senator of these chambers, a third-term senator precisely, granted an interview. Second-term senator granted an interview to BBC Hausa, and in that interview, issue relating to budget was mentioned, where it was stated clearly that these distinguished...
I think you have made your point that you came under Order 9, Order 10, Order 41, and Order 51. One, breach of privileges. Two, matter of urgent national importance. And you have mentioned a burning issue in the public glare about interviews on the BBC services and some other media. So you would like us to give you the opportunity to move a motion in that regard. Is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to continue? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may move your motion.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, I'm Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele. I represent the Central Senatorial District, and by the grace of God and the benevolence of my colleagues, the leader of the Senate, my point of order is Order 9 and Order 10. I will invite Mr. President and our distinguished colleagues to take legislative notice of the fact that these two orders have just been read by distinguished Senator OLAMILEKAN. However, for the purpose of emphasis and for ensuring that we follow our rules, I want to emphasize that it is emphasized in Order 9(2) that when a matter of privilege is read, it shall be taken immediately. That in Order 9(3), it says where there isn't enough provision, the Senate shall regulate itself, which is covered in Order 1(b) of our rules. But most importantly, Order 10 gives two instances under which a matter of privilege, when taking this seriously, ought to be considered. One is either to refer it to the Committee on Petitions or take it as a committee of the whole, where it is considered that seriously. For the avoidance of that, let me read that Order 10 once again. Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice a motion declaring that a contempt or breach of privilege has been committed, or referring the matter to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges. Now note, but if the matter is raised in the committee of the whole Senate, the chairman shall leave the chair to report progress. Mr. Chairman, I stand to actually raise this order and to move most respectfully that the Senate resolve to a committee of the whole to take this motion so that the chairman will be back to report progress. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Just to guide, is it from this interview that we saw the screaming headlines that the Senate had padded the 2028 budget with 3 trillion?
Let me present the motion, then I will explain. Urgent need to address the false allegation against the Senate and the presidency on the 2024 Appropriation Act. The two documents we have here was shared to the 109 senator of the Senate. Contained in this document under the volume 1, paragraph 2, 3, and 4 is the breakdown of the 28.77 trillion budget that was passed. And from paragraph 7-8 are the breakdown of the budget, which we call the budget details of the entire MDAs. And when you add this figure together as contained in this document for the entire MDAs, it comes to 25.4 trillion naira. Sir, there are agencies of the government whose budgets and their details are not contained in these two. Agencies such as 1, the judiciary. The judiciary budget details is not contained in this document. 2, the National Assembly. The National Assembly budget details is not contained in this document. 3, INEC. The INEC budget details is not contained in this document. 4, the Universal Basic Education. The Universal Basic Education budget details is not contained in this document. 6, Tech Fund. The Tech Fund recurrent and capital details is not contained in this budget. 7, the Northeast Development Commission. The breakdown of the Northeast Development Commission details is not contained in this budget. 8, the NDDC. The NDDC budget details is not contained in this document. 9, the GOEs, which is the government-owned enterprise, whose expenditure stood at 1,060 billion naira. Their details is not contained in this document. When you add all of that together, it gives you 3.221 trillion naira. And when you add it to the 25.4, it gives you 28.77 trillion naira. And it's no new thing. I have here a copy of the last 3 budget that was passed: 2021, 2022, 2023. All the details of these agencies I've mentioned are not contained in this document. So for my brother who have put up a consultant to look into this budget and have reported that 25 trillion was approved by the Senate, it's not been fair to the Senate. And I want to say that despite the fact an overture made to the Senate President and complained bitterly about this, and the Senate President requested that let me be furnished with the details and we look into it and necessary action will be taken. We refused. Instead of doing that, we went to the press and addressed the press. And as at yesterday, my brother Senator ABDUL Ningi still insists that he stood by his 3.7 trillion that has been missing within the 2024 appropriation bill.
Having listened to the House of Virgin read out by Senator Yang, have you discovered any of this proposition? No. You have discovered one issue that pertains to the budget, and that is the issue of 28 trillion versus 25 trillion. I have said that. And I said, if you are listening to him clearly, that we had passed a budget of 28 trillion and we have discovered location. Mr. President, first, we discover humongous anomalies of repetition. We discovered some senatorial districts in this particular document. Some senatorial districts have up to 120 billion, and my senatorial district has just 2 billion. Mr. President, yes. Mr. President, in this budget that Yari presented to you, I have facts, constituency by constituency, and therefore everything that is in the budget is my concern.
No matter what we want to discuss here, this is not the speech I expected. I expected a speech of somebody who would say, oh, I was misquoted. Oh, I'm sorry for this or that. Oh, the misinterpretation was this. But you went back to Arise yesterday night and justified your position and went for us to say you have documents. Even now in front of this Senate, you say you have documents, and those documents are with you. No single senator here knows. No Nigerian knows. But at the same time, Nigerians are bashing the Senate. Nigerians are imbibing. Many Nigerians will never in future come back to respect these chambers. So the integrity of these chambers has been totally damaged, and we wanted you to repair it with your speech. But instead of that, you said you have more documents to prove what you are saying. Senator, I did not cut, I gave you all the time.
The respect I used to have when I go home, I saw it different the last time I went. And I was told that I've been given an allocation of 55 billion in my budget, and that video is even in the TikTok today. So why will I not stand here and say my mind? I'm not a party to any discovery that I have not seen. To me, it's not a discovery, and I don't see any reason why I will disturb myself to posting any comments. Mr. President, we will deal with the issue of the Senate of the budget, but we have to also deal with our ethical standard in the Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Pursuant to Order 1B of the Senate Standing Order 2023 as amended, allow immediate deliberations of this matter and take appropriate action deemed fit in the overriding public interest and as a matter of urgent public importance to prevent breakdown of law and order. I think this has been taken. Those in support of prayer want to say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are that has been taken. Prayer 2. Take further necessary steps to correct the wrong impression in public domain of the 2024 budget created by the BBC interview and other national media houses and social media platforms by Senator ABDUL Ningi and amplified by Senator Suleman through his post on Northern Senators Forum, his Facebook account, and other social media platforms. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3. Take any further decision as the Senate deems fit and proper to safeguard the integrity of the 2024 budget, which is pivotal to the revamping of the Nigerian economy. Prayer 3. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Mr. Jibo, you can now come with your additional prayer.
Yes, distinguished colleague, my additional prayer after we're trying to distill all our discussions in these hallowed chambers into this additional prayer by way of sanction. Suspend Senator Ningi and suspend Senator Ningi for an initial period of 12 months. 12 months, yes, including his entitlement and privilege as Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the 10th Senate, and made him to stay away from the National Assembly for the suspended period. 2. The Senate should send a warning letter to Senator Suleman Abdurrahman and this should be warned to stop posting, inciting informations that are not right, and then he should tell an apology. He should stop posting all those informations with a way of distorting facts. The Senate President is so moved on these 2 additional prayers.
The Civil Senator Ibrahim has moved a motion that in view of the foregone, all the discussions we have had here in the Senate and the events, the public outlook, that the Civil Senator ABDUL Ningi should be suspended for a period of 12 months. I would like to. Oh yes, Senator Davione.
You see that Senator Akpabio has actually adopted the style of putting off the senator's mic whenever they want to say something that is actually very, very incriminating, something that is actually going to expose his criminality and shenanigans, something that is going to expose everything that is going down in that Senate House. You will see what Senator OLAMILEKAN actually said in that video. He is the only one that actually slams and condemns every act that actually happened, and some are still demanding for apology from Senator Ningi. The only thing that I can actually say, the only error, the only mistake that I can actually say that Senator Ningi actually made in this whole issue was that he exposed all these things first on BBC Hausa. He was actually supposed to say everything first in the Senate House, but with the way it actually went down, it has actually exposed a whole lot of shit and criminality that is actually going down in the Senate House. Thank God that he actually made mention of that and made mention of all these shenanigans in BBC Hausa first before going back to that house to say, because as at the time he was about to say all these shenanigans that is actually going on in that Senate House, Akpabio would have put off the mic again and Nigerians wouldn't have known what is actually going down in that Senate House. With everything that's actually going down in Nigeria now, the insecurity that actually engulfed the whole country, these people did not see that as a big threat to the country. They are not actually talking about it, which actually shows that what Sani Abacha said before he actually died is actually true about everything that's actually happening in the country. That when we find ourselves in a kind of situation like this where we are being terrorized by some set of people and it's not being curbed within 24 to 48 hours, it shows that the government knows much about it. Some of the senators in that house actually knows much about everything that's actually happening to Nigerians. They are insiders there. They know every plans that President Bola Ahmed TINUBU is actually making. That's the reason why President Bola Ahmed TINUBU is not flinching about it. He knows that these people are there to sabotage his tenure. That is the reason why all this thing is actually going down there. Akpabio and those 2 people are one of the 2 major criminals in this President Bola Ahmed TINUBU administration. Those are the 2 criminals that we have there, and these 2 criminals are actually working. They are working vehemently in that house, and the people are actually seeing the nature of their criminality and how they are actually going about it. Nigeria is actually going down the drain, and we will not have nobody. We have nobody in that house. If you should say anything that is actually contradictory to what they want you to say, they are going to penalize you. You are going to serve a penalty, and that's what Senator Ningi is actually going through presently. Senator Ningi needs to be reinstated back into that house because they found out that what he actually said at first, the allegation he actually made was actually true. Everything that actually went down in the Senate House was actually true. What he said is actually the utmost truth in everything that actually went down in that house. We have senators in the house. What they actually put in front of them, they did not go through the budget, and they came to the house, come and bear false witness. You see that Senator Ningi was actually asking them. You will see it in that video. You've already seen it in that video. He was asking them questions. He asked them over again, and they were saying that they went through it and they did not see any anomaly. You see that all these people are only there to loot Nigerian funds. They are there for their own selfish interest. They don't have the interest of Nigeria. They don't have the interest of the citizens at heart. My people, with this video that you've watched, please do well to share your opinion at the comment section. Let us know what you feel about everything that's actually going down. Senator Akpabio is actually a criminal. He's one of the major criminals that we have in President Bola Ahmed TINUBU administration. My people, don't forget to share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And if you are coming across this channel for the very first time, do it to click the red subscription button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video. See you in our next video. Bye for now.